had a group of people with Tennessee Association of Museums. They have an annual conference every year, and a couple of years ago, it was at Meadowview Conference Center in Kingsport, so we were able to send some representatives from our museum, and when they came back with the report, they said we are approaching the 80th anniversary of World War II. Our veterans are dying at such a high rate every day, and so the Tennessee Association of Museums encouraged museums that would to do research about their area and how they were affected by this war. So my father was a POW in World War II in Germany, and that just spoke to my heart, so I rounded up some like-minded folks that were involved with the museum, and we decided to start work on this project. Charlie Grow, who was a previous curator and artist for the National Marine Museum in Quantico, Virginia, he was able to help us narrow this down and figure out how many panels we needed and what we wanted to include on each one. So this is a proof of the first panel, which is our overview, and we just selected some different soldiers from Hawkins County, and I think a lot of folks probably would know these gentlemen. And this is Archie Rogers, and he lived right on the corner as you turn to go down to the Prices Center from the 4-lane, whatever that street is. This gentleman here, Jack Carver, his wife gave us a scrapbook different scrapbooks that she'd kept all through the 40s and whatever, so he's featured. And but each panel, it's difficult just to come look at the panels because they have so many stories in them. And one story of Wayne Bailey, this is Shane Bailey from Rogersville. Wayne told us this story, and he said when he was a young boy and troops were headed to Europe, they bivouacked at the flat area down there where the schools are today. And he says—
In Surgoinsville?
Yes.
Okay.
So there were, I don't know if it was hundreds or thousands, but a lot of troops there. And it was March 1942, and it was just a downpour cold rain. And you know, in March, you're just looking any minute for that rain to change to snow, and it was a day like that. So we had people, you know, going up and down the road saying, "Have you seen all the tents down there?" And so people just continuously drove by. They felt so sorry for these men out. The longer they were there, the muddier it got. So they started, local citizens started going by there and saying, could we take, they asked whoever was in charge there, could we take some of these men to our homes and feed them and let them spend the night and get them out of this mess? And they said, sure, go ahead and do that. So Wayne says that his uncle came with 3 or 4 soldiers in the car. His aunts got a big country ham out of the smokehouse, sliced it up, had biscuits and gravy, fed them, let them get warm. They loaded them up, took them back, brought more men, and this went on for most of the night. And Wayne says that he remembered almost every soldier would give him a piece of chewing gum, but it was very memorable to him. And so Jessie Brown, one of the members of our museum board, she had kept this letter, and I said 1942, it was 1944. Jessie had kept this letter, and it's from one of the troops, and I've just got to read it.
Okay.
This is only the front page, but it's from Camp Pickett, April, and like this event started in March. And it says, "Dear Dr. Lyons, I know you don't remember me, but I'll always remember you and your town and how kind the people in it were to us soldiers. We sure were happy when you offered us your office to sleep in that rainy, miserable, well,
It was in March.
yeah, mess that we would have had to sleep in. This comes from a grateful soldier and who will remember you. So this is the kind of stories that we have all on our panels. It needs explanation, and so we'll have, when we have our opening, we'll have a volunteer or a docent beside each panel to point out some of the more important things. This is a resident that's made the paper many times. He's long gone, but Harry Bailey was at Pearl Harbor when it was bombed, and so he had a wonderful story to tell about surviving that tragic event. And right behind City Hall, this is, I'll wrap up here. You can tell I get excited when I talk about this because it's taken us 2 years to do this, but we've really done a lot of research. But there's what is now a White House directly behind City Hall, and this was the home of the Roller family. So I researched through the Rogersville Review the newspapers from 1939 with the buildup of the war till like 1946 with the ending and what happened. And I happened upon this, and it says Rufus Roller, Surgoinsville, Hawkins County's first missing serviceman. And in the Rogersville Review, April 3rd, 1942, Roller's ship was torpedoed by a German submarine, and it sank within minutes. April the 20th, again, I looked in the next week in the review, and it says the Rogersville Review reports that Roller and all others on his ship are presumed to be dead, as there's been no trace of survivors. Then I flipped to the next Rogersville Review, and it says April 25th, Roller and 4 other sailors were rescued by a Norwegian freighter and being adrift after being adrift for 22 days. One of the injured on his raft died within 10 minutes of being taken aboard the vessel. So this is a photo of Mr. Roller, and then one of him and his mother. And when we can look out the street and see his home and know what a sacrifice, it just speaks to our hearts. So that's what the 4 panels are
So the
about.
panels have been designed already.
Yes.
Panels are done, but the TV thing's just a matter of
Adding to thumb
adding
drive.
to a thumb drive.
Okay.
And we are gonna have a truck that follows, goes with the panels if we go to visit, take them to a school or, you know, maybe a veterans event. Then we'll have a truck that we can add to, because we have a lot of artifacts that have been given to us from World War II.
Did you get a grant for this?
Yes, we did, and we really need to give credit to Humanities Tennessee. This is the same grant that Sierra Club got for the river panels, and if they think that you have a worthy story to tell, they're really good to give you $2,500, which will usually cover the cost of printing and that kind of thing.
Okay. So the event that you're gonna have, describe what that's gonna be like.
We're going to just have like an open house event where we will unveil the panels. We're not gonna have them out, and they're stand-up panels like,
Eventually, yes, so it's gonna be a traveling around.
well, yeah, it'll be a part of a traveling
after
exhibit.
Spend some time here.
Because we've taken a lot of things from the museum to, like Northeast State and different places at UT in Knoxville. And so wherever, you know, somebody asks us, then we'll get volunteers to go
Right.
take those things. It will be here permanently, but we will unveil this exhibit on August the 24th from 2 to 4.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna have refreshments and people beside each panel to point out the important stories and things that folks might miss if they were just passing through. And